Sheriff of Milwaukee and NewsMax contributor David Clarke. Also joining us is Sheriff of Terrell County, Texas, and retired Border Patrol agent Thaddeus Cleveland. Gentlemen, welcome to Wake Up America Weekend.
Good morning. Thank you.
Sheriff Clarke, Mayorkas and Kentucky Senator Rand Paul had an exchange regarding Jose Ibarras, the illegal migrant accused of murdering Georgia nursing student Laken Riley. Let's take a listen.
Jose Ibarra, was it lawful to parole him? Was it lawful to let him in the country because you say the camp's full?
Ranking Member Paul is a former federal prosecutor for 12 years. I can say with tremendous conviction that individuals who commit criminal acts need to be held accountable for their crimes.
Well, that's not much consolation if you wait until after he's murdered somebody.
Yes. Is a lack of space enough to justify paroling a dangerous criminal into the country illegally? I mean, obviously, we know the consequences. He allegedly took an American life as a result.
Correct. And Laken Riley did not have to happen, but for the border policies of Joe Biden, his administration, including Mayorkas. That was a classic example of catch and release. That guy had been in U.S. custody several times, including in New York several times. They don't have any bail policies in New York. New York doesn't allow the law enforcement agencies to work with Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. They should have notified them and they would have taken him into custody. That's why I said this didn't have to happen. This catch and release is very dangerous, and that's what's going on right now. It's one of the things that under Trump they stopped. No more catch and release. Remain in Mexico worked. All that stuff has been undone by the Biden administration. So here we are. Kate Steinle comes to mind back in 2016, who suffered the same fate as Laken Riley because of poor immigration policies.
Yeah, and it boils my blood that the secretary smugly sits there and doesn't answer the question. He plays lawyer and just pivots to a soundbite, and that's what we're getting from the administration. We're getting sound bites. But Sheriff Cleveland, what is your reaction to the Senate rejecting outright both articles of impeachment against DHS Secretary Mayorkas? Is anyone ever going to be held accountable in the Biden administration at all? I mean, this crisis is taking lives. It's destroying towns. It's destroying the United States, for that matter, across our country. Is anyone going to be held accountable? And I believe this is the first time the Senate didn't at least have a hearing. I don't expect them to convict, but it is what it is. But not even have a hearing or a trial?
And to your point, no one's going to be held accountable. The only way we can hold somebody accountable is at this upcoming election. We need Americans to get out and vote in a new president, and that will hold this administration accountable. But also going back to, your question as far as were we surprised? I hate to say, but no, wasn't surprised. We knew that they would not move forward with the impeachment process. Even if they had, all they would do is either put another figure in there to continue to carry out these policies that are currently going on. But if I may add on the Laken Riley portion, look, not only did this administration do away with the migrant protection protocols, no longer held Mexico's feet to the fire as President Trump did, but also they reduced bed space. And whenever you reduce the bed space, we're left with having to release people. And that's something we need to get away from.
Sheriff Clarke, we only have about a minute, but what do you make of the huge increase in illegal Chinese migrants crossing our border?
Everybody's coming in. It's an open door policy, and we're going to pay for that as well.
Yeah, and I'll give you the last 30 seconds. Sheriff Cleveland, there's been over 24,000 in just this fiscal year alone, and yet the FBI director, you'll see the numbers right there on your screen. This is China, by the way. 2021, it was 342. Now it's over 24,000 just in this fiscal year so far. And we hear the FBI director saying Chinese threats are coming. They're coming for us with respect to our critical infrastructure via cybercrime. What do you think? Last 20 seconds to you.
Hey, so look at those numbers. Those are important because, look, we have 6 months more in this fiscal year. We've already surpassed the entire amount of last year. In San Diego, California, they're catching more Chinese than they're actually catching people from Mexico. So, no, the time is right for something to happen. And look, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, and I pray for our country, but with what we're allowing into this country, there's going to be more tragedy, and there's going to be likely something that's going to happen even worse.
Well, Sheriff David Clarke, Sheriff Thaddeus Cleveland, gentlemen, always appreciate you joining us in the morning. Thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.